Hi everyone, my name's Hazel and I'm an author and a PhD student, and today we are going to be trying out the ColourPop Mandalorian Chow palette. I am so excited about this. My friend sent me a picture about it when she heard it was getting released. I was like, I'm buying this straight away. I love Star Wars, I love the Mandalorian, and obviously I love Baby Yoda. I was actually, because I love him so much and despite the fact I'm 24 years old, going to buy myself for Christmas, because yes, I do buy myself Christmas presents. Sorry. I was going to buy myself the Baby Yoda from Build-A-Bear. He looked a lot cuter than the one they had at the Disney store, and I was like, if I buy him as like an early Christmas present, I can have him in the video. But then my mum decided to get him me for Christmas. I'm not complaining, but so now my Baby Yoda is chilling in a box in my mum's bedroom until Christmas Day. What can you do? Absolutely nothing. But I am still super excited to get this. And I wasn't actually planning doing this like first impressions, because I've never actually tried ColourPop before. This is going to be my first time trying ColourPop. So I wasn't thinking of doing this video until next week. I was scheduled to do a Miraculous Ladybug video this week. However, this palette is limited edition and it's sold out at the minute. However, I do believe it's coming back in stock on Black Friday. So if you like it, that's probably, I'm assuming, going to be your last chance to get it, which I think is going to be a real shame just because he's so cute. I would want them to make it permanent. Obviously I'm only going to get one, I don't need another one, but just for other people to have the enjoyment, and just people who for whatever reason don't know this palette exists but really like Star Wars and would like to get it, you know? Yeah, I don't know, just because it's something really special to me. So yeah, let's get started I guess. Okay, so this is the palette itself, and I've forgotten how much it was, so I will put the price on the screen. I'll also leave a link to it down below in the description box, but that link, if you use it, I won't make any money from that. It's not an affiliate link. I have 40 subscribers. Of course it's not an affiliate link. So this is the front of the box. It's just super cute with Baby Yoda on the front with Star Wars and ColourPop at one end with some shiny sparkly green dots. And then on the back it tells you the shade names and the ingredient list. And then this is the front of the palette itself, so exactly the same as the box. However, the Baby Yoda is kind of slightly raised up, not so much, like you won't be able to see from the sides, but he's ever so slightly raised up when you run your fingers across it. It's really nice, and even though the palette is cardboard, it's like a soft touch cardboard. It's really nice. And then again, the back of the palette's exactly the same as the back of the box with the shade names on it, just the ingredients missing this time. So this is the inside of the palette, and apologies you can see the mirror and the camera. However, I just wanted to show like the detail of Baby Yoda and how it says cutest in the galaxy. It just looks really cute. So I'll move on to the shades. Now, just a quick note, I do live in the northwest of England and ColourPop are based in California, so obviously this had to travel in, I'm assuming, several delivery vans as well as an aeroplane. So when it arrived, there was a bit of fallout from this gold shade here, this brown shade, and this dark green shade here. There was a bit of fallout, but I've had that happen with other things I've ordered from America that are makeup. I think when I ordered from Pat McGrath, that comes from America, Dominique Cosmetics was America, Kaleidos Cosmetics was from China. Like anywhere that's far away, it usually comes with a bit of fallout, but no shades were broken. There was just a tiny bit scattered on the edge of the palette, so I tried my best to clean it up. But you know, it's whatever, I live pretty far away. But just looking at this palette, I do think it has a really concise colour story, and just by looking at it, I do like, you know, it reminds me of Baby Yoda, or the child. I'm going to refer to him as Baby Yoda. Who refers to him as the child? Apart from the people in the show, like literally nobody refers to him as the child. But I think it's really concise, and it's got a good mixture of colours, so if you just want to do a natural look, you can stick with the browns and the golds. You can do an all green look if you want, or if you want something more natural with a pop of green. I do think it's quite a versatile palette for being only 9 colours. And I also like the way the columns are set out, as each column is kind of like a different look. I guess if you weren't sure what to do with it, you could just go down each column and there's a different look for you. So let's swatch them before we get into doing the eye look. So this is the first row of the palette. First off we have Precious Cargo, which is like a silvery white shimmer with actually bits of green. It's slightly green and it is coming off, you can't really see it on my hand, however I am very pale. So it probably will show up better if you have a darker skin tone, but I do think it's a really pretty shade. Then next to it is Right Hand Mando, which is a light shimmery green. Then we have a matte light brown called Just Like a Tatooine, and I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea what that means. I've seen all of the Star Wars films apart from episode 9 because I refused to watch it. But I don't know what it means. I asked my brothers and they don't know what it means either. We've seen Star Wars loads. Like, what does it mean? Tatooine, if you don't know, is the planet that Anakin is from, and I'm pretty sure Luke lives there. Is he technically from Tatooine? He definitely grew up there, I'm pretty sure, on the cool moisture farm. What a great place to grow up. Then we have the next row, which is probably my favourite row actually. So we have this darker green metallic, not as light as the last metallic we had, called Sippin' Soup, obviously named after that really cute part where Baby Yoda's just sipping soup whilst the Mandalorian and the name of that lady who I've forgotten, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, are having a fight. Then this middle one is a matte light green called Babyface, because obviously that's the colour of his baby face. It's exactly like, it's like a perfect match to Baby Yoda's face. And then we have this gold one called the Force, which is a shimmery colour. And whilst I absolutely love that Force colour, honestly when someone says the Force to me, I usually think of the colour silver rather than gold. However, I really like the addition of gold in the overall colour story of the palette. And then this is the final row of the palette. So this first one is called Little Frog, which is a matte with shimmering. Apparently people usually hate these shades. I quite like mattes with shimmers in from most brands, to be honest, but apparently people don't like them, so that's what that one is. It's the only one in the palette, so if you really don't like it, it's just the one. Then this one is a dark green matte called Float Your Crib, which is obviously named after the floating crib Baby Yoda has. And then this final one is a dark matte brown called Droid Protocol, and honestly I don't really know why that one was called that. The two brown shades seem to have very, very odd names. It's whatever, you know, I guess most people who watch Star Wars are like, oh yeah, that's a Star Wars thing. Even though the two brown shades don't really make any sense. But anyway, overall I do really like the colour story of the palette, so I guess now let's get into trying it. So because this is the Baby Yoda palette, I'm going to be doing a green look instead of using the browns. However, the browns are probably going to be the same formula. I always hear really good things about ColourPop's formula. So I'm excited to try it for the first time. I hope it's good because everything is really affordable. However, the first thing I'm actually going to do, since there's not like a base shade for me in this palette, I'm just going to go in with this light shade called Frothy from the Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette and just do it all over the lid so I have something to blend the green eyeshadow into. So let's talk about Mandalorian. Now the first series, the opening I wasn't really a massive fan of. Like I always talk about in my writing videos, that's what I also do on this channel if you're new, hi. I do writing videos as well since I love writing. I always talk about something being character driven or plot driven. And I come for the plot and I stay for the plot when I'm reading a book, watching a film, watching a TV show, whatever it is. And at first, in my opinion for me, the storyline of The Mandalorian isn't really that compelling. I only stayed watching it because Baby Yoda was in it. That's the only reason I stayed watching it. If Baby Yoda hadn't been in it, I would have stopped watching at the end of the first episode. Like, I'm the sort of person who will do that. I don't wait for things to get better. Like, I have an undergrad in creative writing and a postgrad in creative writing and another one in script writing. And we are like taught the first episode like has to be one of the best ones because that's the first impression most people are going to get of the show. And it's like, okay. So I always have the same like standard for other TV shows. And honestly, The Mandalorian's opening episode, for me, in my opinion, it wasn't that great. However, but like I said, I did stay for Baby Yoda and thankfully it has gotten better over time, and I really like the way the episodes are kind of like standalone. There is kind of like an overarching plot that does tie them all together for the finale, and I'm assuming series 2 because at the time of filming this there's only 3 episodes released, but by the time this goes up 4 will have been released, and it's looking like there will be like a finale that, you know, brings everything all together. But it's the reason why I really liked Doctor Who when it came back with Christopher Eccleston and then David Tennant, because the episodes were standalone and you could miss one and still know what was going on. Even for the finale you'd still understand what was going on. Whereas Doctor Who now with Matt Smith and then Peter Capaldi and then Jodie Whittaker, it was like if you didn't watch every single episode you would miss something and then you would have no idea what was going on. And even if you did watch every single episode, still wasn't that clear what was going on, so I did stop watching Doctor Who before it even got to Jodie Whittaker. I'm sorry. It was the writing that got me. I don't care who's in it. It was the writing that got me. So first things first, we're going to take the sipping soup shade and just do it on the outer half of each eyelid. So I think what I like the most about The Mandalorian is that at the minute series 2, for the first 3 episodes we've had, is literally Baby Yoda's adventures with his space dad, and it's adorable and it's a great break to have on a Friday or over the weekend from my PhD. It's something to look forward to. Like my brothers always are like, oh, I don't really like having to wait for episodes to be released, but I kind of like the anticipation of waiting each week. I guess because my brothers are younger than me. They haven't grown up for ages having to wait for the next episode. Like, they've mainly grown up with binge watching something where they can watch a whole series at once, whilst I grew up having to wait each week for the next episode. That's just the way it is. All that being said about the first series, I didn't think the opening was great, but I think I loved, was it episode 3 or episode 4? The one on like the Naboo-like planet that had all the humans and that widow who kind of fancied the Mandalorian, and I wanted them to get together, and that's what I wanted. And there was that 8080 that the Mandalorian helped them take down. I really liked that episode. I really liked the finale, and I really like I'm really bad at names, I'm sorry, but the guy who died trying to protect the baby at the end of episode 7. I loved him. He was great. I also really like the cool mechanic lady who loves Baby Yoda. If I was in this series, she would be me. That's who I'd play because I love him. I don't understand how in the first series everyone was like, he's kind of ugly. I'm like, excuse me? No, he's not. And I also really like the droid. He was in the first episode, and then the guy who dies in episode 7 repairs him to be like a nanny droid or whatever. So first of all, the droid's dialogue was really good, but also the way the droid moved, how it would like twist its hips around and turn its head, and so it could be back to front. I don't know how to describe it, but he was just really cool. But I think my favourite episodes, apart from the Naboo one and like the finale, was the one on the prison ship. I thought that was a really cool idea. I really liked that one. So now over top of that, I'm going in with the dark green matte called Float Your Crib. So as for the second series though, I'm in love with the second series so far. That opening episode was so good. I absolutely loved it. But then, oh my god, those spiders in episode 2. I would have been screaming. I was scared watching it. Do you know like when someone mentions head lice and everyone immediately starts itching? That's what I'm like when I see spiders on television. Or in real life as well. I just don't like spiders, okay? But the opening to that episode when the Mando was on the hoverbike, I think it's called, and those people had set the trap, and then after the guy took Baby Yoda and they exchanged him for the jetpack and they ran to the Mandalorian. Oh, it was so cute. Oh, I love him. He's the cutest. But I think I didn't absolutely love episode 3. However, I nearly screamed when I got to the part of the episode where Katee Sackhoff took off her helmet. Oh my gosh, I love Katee Sackhoff. So if you don't know who she is, she's like a veteran science fiction television actress. I love her with all of my heart. So she was in Battlestar Galactica, which I'm actually rewatching at the minute. I have always had these friends who are always like, oh, it's either Star Trek versus Star Wars. Well, I'm like, well, first of all, Star Wars is better than Star Trek, but you know what's better than both of them? Battlestar Galactica. Oh my god, I haven't seen the original show yet, but I have seen the remake once, and I'm currently rewatching it with my mum, who's already seen it twice. We really love Battlestar Galactica, and she did see the original. And actually, fun fact, so in my novel, which is a science fiction novel that's set in 2047 in London, the main character is called Gracie Thrace, and her last name Thrace is taken from Katee Sackhoff's character in Battlestar Galactica. So her character is called Kara Thrace, obviously same last name, but Kara is like, she's a Viper pilot. So a Viper is, I don't really know how to describe it. I guess the Battlestar Galactica equivalent of an X-Wing. Hopefully you know what an X-Wing is if you're watching this. It's like that. So she's like the CAG, which is like the captain, and her call sign is Starbuck, like the drink. But I'm pretty sure this was filmed before Starbucks became like a big thing. But anyway, oh my god, I love Katee Sackhoff so much. Like, I recognised her straight away. Like, she does look quite a bit different. So in Battlestar she has blonde hair, and in The Mandalorian she has like reddish hair, but oh my god, I was so excited to see her, and I immediately ran downstairs to tell my mum. She hasn't watched The Mandalorian yet, but she definitely will. So I was like, guess who's in it? And she was like, I don't know, she's very tired at the minute with work. And I was like, Katee Sackhoff. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, well, of course she's in it. And she was like, who was she? And I was like, she's a bit like a Mandalorian. My mum was like, of course she is. because of who she plays in Battlestar. So yeah, I'm excited to see her more. I hope so much she's back for the finale, because I love Katee Sackhoff so much. So now on the inner half of my eye, I'm going to take right hand Mando. I'm just going to use my finger. I generally prefer applying shimmers in a large place with my finger. So that's all I have to say on The Mandalorian, but in terms of actual Star Wars, and by the way, I do think I prefer The Mandalorian to actual Star Wars, as in the films. But my favourite Star Wars film, you're all going to hate me now, is Attack of the Clones. I love that film. Okay, so first of all, I'm not actually sure when the prequels were released. I'm assuming it's when I was younger, because I vaguely remember Revenge of the Sith coming out. I'm 24, by the way, if that helps anyone. I vaguely remember Revenge of the Sith coming out. But for whatever reason, me and my brothers just weren't shown the original Star Wars for absolute years. I don't know if they thought it was going to be too scary for us or something, and looking back on it now, they really aren't that scary. But I absolutely love Attack of the Clones. I really like The Phantom Menace, and I also do quite like Revenge of the Sith. If I was to rank all the Star Wars episodes, in my opinion, for me, what I like, it would be Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, which, by the way, because my brother will kill me if I don't say this, when they first released A New Hope, it wasn't called A New Hope, it was just called Star Wars, because they hadn't decided at that point that there was going to be more than one Star Wars film. So initially it was just called Star Wars, but obviously when The Empire Strikes Back released, they had to give the first one a name as well, so they called it A New Hope. Every time I say to my brother, shall we watch The New Hope? He's like, I'm sorry Hazel, what's that film? Don't you mean Star Wars? And I'm like, yes, Star Wars. But if I say let's watch Star Wars, that could mean any of them. Like, he's so difficult. Anyway, then An Empire Strikes Back after A New Hope, and then I've only seen episode 7 and 8 once each, so I don't know. I haven't seen episode 9, I don't want to subject myself to it yet. I'm not ready for it, okay? So now on the inner corner, I'm going to take the super shimmery shade, which I've forgotten the name of, Precious Cargo, right on the inner corner, and I'm going to use the flat side of my brush this time. So my favourite moments from the Star Wars films. I absolutely love the arena section, the big arena fight in Attack of the Clones. That's probably the reason why I like that film so much. And I also really like playing that part on LEGO Star Wars as well. I love that part. I really like the ending of The Phantom Menace, where they have that parade and the big like peace ball thing, and the music for that section. I love it. I have it saved on my phone. I love that song a lot. I also love the final fight with Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan and Darth Maul at the end of Phantom Menace, as well as the General, right, is it General Grievous or General Grievous? I'm not sure, but the one where Obi-Wan defeats General Grievous at the end of Attack of the Clones. Is it Attack of the Clones? Yes. It's been ages since I've seen them. Might be Revenge of the Sith. I feel like it's Attack of the Clones though. Anyway, I also love the part on the Jabba barge, which is that Empire Strikes Back? Is it in Return of the Jedi? It has been a while since I've seen these films. I could do to rewatch them again, because I do really like the Star Wars films. And when I say the Star Wars films, I don't mean the new ones. And I also really love the end of Return of the Jedi. It's just so nice and wholesome and sweet. So now just under my eyes, I'm going to take the shimmery shade called Sipping Soup and just do it on underneath the lower lash line with the flat side of my brush. So as for favourite characters, I think my all-time favourite character, apart from Baby Yoda and The Mandalorian, because he's really grown on me. I do really like this like gruff space dad. I didn't really have a dad growing up, so I do kind of like him as a dad, so I'm not really sure if he's a good depiction of a dad. I'm really unsure when it comes to dads in my writing. I don't really know what is a good dad, if I want to write a good dad that is. But I do like Baby Yoda and The Mandalorian, but other than them, my favourite character from the films anyway, it's probably Padme. I absolutely love Padme, who is Princess Leia's mum, if you don't know. Oh, Padme, I love her so much. She's played by Natalie Portman. I really like Padme. Oh, I really looked up to her when I was growing up. Oh yeah, I love her. And also in the arena, she wears this like fully white outfit, and then around her arms are these metal cuffs. Oh my gosh, I love that outfit so much. And actually, was it last summer or the summer before? It was before COVID. Me and my mum and my youngest brother went to the O2 Arena, not to watch a concert or anything like that. We went to the O2 Arena to go to a Star Wars costume exhibit. It was really, really cool. It was called Star Wars Identities, I believe. But they had that outfit there and I was like internally screaming. I think out of all the film outfits ever, that's probably my all-time favourite film outfit. There's nothing particularly special about it. I just love it and I'm not really sure why. I also really love Yoda, normal Yoda, as well as Baby Yoda. I think I prefer Baby Yoda to actual Yoda though. I also love Obi-Wan, because who doesn't love Obi-Wan? I really like R2 and C-3PO. They have like the best relationship out of all the Star Wars characters. And they're just both so cute and sassy. I love them both. I also, again, another unpopular opinion, love Jar Jar Binks. I know a lot of people don't, sorry. I really like Lando as well, and Princess Leia. She's just the best. I was so upset when Carrie Fisher died, but oh, she's amazing. I love her. I really like BB-8. He has like the same R2-D2 energy, but kind of a bit different, but like, you know, same energy. And I also really like just the droids, the normal droids. Do you know, like the kind of like a cream tan colour? Oh, I think they're hilarious. I don't know why, I just do. But like I said, like I prefer the prequels to the originals, but both the prequels and the originals are better than the sequels. I can't bring myself to watch episode 9 and just ruin it for myself even further. I don't want to think about them even existing. There are a lot of things wrong with them, but I had wished, I think I read an interview, how the actors for Poe and Finn, I'm sorry I don't remember their names, bad at names, but they had asked for them to be a relationship between the two of them, as in a romantic relationship. And I think, oh, they had such great chemistry when you first saw them together in the film. I was like, yeah, that would have been a great idea. But they said no, and I guess it's the same reason why Elsa is gay in Frozen but doesn't have a girlfriend. Because they wouldn't be able to sell the film in some countries. That's the reason why people do it. But yeah, I think I do prefer the prequels overall. Because everyone's always like the originals are the best, but I absolutely love the prequels. But I was kind of brought up watching them, like we'd watch them like every other weekend, probably one of them, not all three at the same time, calm down, just one of them. But I was brought up watching Star Wars and this weird creepy animated version of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia, and the Thunderbirds. Oh my god, I wanted to be a Thunderbird when I was a child. I wanted to be Lady Penelope. Like growing up we didn't have the Disney Channel and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this look off with some mascara and setting spray and then I will be back. Okay, so this is the finished look, and once more my forehead, back at it again, looking far, far too big on camera. Like with the headband on it doesn't look that big and all my forehead is exposed, but when I let my hair down, it just looks so big. I'm sorry. It has no reason for looking this big on camera, I'm sorry. But this is the finished look. So I did a fully green look and I was looking at it properly, like up close in the mirror, because I wear glasses, I can't really see in the camera that well unless I'm close to it. But I have blue-green eyes and it's really making my eyes stand out. I've never actually tried green eyeshadow before, so I really like how this turned out, and I think, yeah, I really like the palette first of all. I think it's a great price, and if you want to get it, Black Friday's gonna be the last time, I think. But the shadows are really good quality, in my mediocre makeup skills opinion. The shadows are really good quality, but they're not super pigmented. So if you're afraid of trying green shades but you really want this palette because you love Star Wars, you love Baby Yoda, these greens are quite subtle and quite buildable. They're not like bright green shades like in the other ColourPop green palettes, which I think are called Mint to Be and Is It Just My Look? I don't have either of them. Like I said, this is my first time trying ColourPop. I also, and I've just put this on now, just a tint in Gimme Small, which I really like as well. And the blush I'm wearing is also from ColourPop. It's called From the Moon and it's one of Sailor Moon blushes. So the packaging is so cute. I don't know if you can see. It's one of those that shifts the image. I think I'm at the wrong angle to do this, but the image shifts and it's of Serena and Luna, or Usagi and Luna. So overall, I really liked this ColourPop makeup. The lip tint and the blush were great, and I absolutely love the eyeshadow palette. Like I said, great price, great formula, and if you are scared of trying greens for the first time, these aren't super crazy greens. They are pigmented enough so that they are buildable, but so they aren't scary to work with if you've never used greens before. I think it's a really good palette with a really concise colour story that just, to me anyway, screams Baby Yoda essentially. I love him to bits, and I'm so glad they brought out this palette because I absolutely love Star Wars and I love The Mandalorian and I love my baby. So that's the end of the video today. I hope you enjoyed my ramble about Star Wars. I do genuinely love Star Wars. Just not the new ones. Like, oh, I so wish, was it in episode 8 when Finn and, I think she's called Rose, like I said, I've only seen it once. So Finn and Rose go down to that planet and they come across like this race course. And I was like, oh my god, I was in the cinema, I was like, oh my god, is it gonna be pod racing? But I love pod racing, is that gonna make a comeback? And it wasn't pod racing, and I was like, oh, that's disappointing. So yeah, like I said, that's the end of today's video. I hope you all stay safe and I will see you all next time. Bye!